Welcome back to The Jump. You know, it has not been a fun stretch for the Warriors. They lost Kevin Durant in a road game in D.C. They're 2-5 since. And as we were discussing in the last segment, Saturday's loss to the depleted Spurs team drew a ton of controversy when Golden State head coach Steve Kerr decided to rest his star players, including Steph Curry. And guess who joins us now? Steph Curry on The Jump. Welcome, my friend.
How you doing?
Well, I want to get right to it. A lot of fans very frustrated on Saturday, upset with Steve. You've also had media types like me saying the NBA needs to protect these big national TV games on the schedule more, give teams a day off going into them. What's your reaction to all the backlash, and how would you solve this larger issue?
I mean, there's a lot of different ways. It's obvious at the end of the day, it was coach's decision to rest us. We went through this 2 years ago on I think a road game in Denver where he decided to rest me and Andre. And he's, obviously using his discretion to put us in the best position possible to be successful down the stretch of the season. And, that was his call. So as players, we understand we want to be on the floor every single night. And the schedule is what it is right now. We can't control that. But, we want to be ready for the playoffs, and that's obviously the priority.
How much more is your team focusing on rest than, say, last season?
I mean, right now we're obviously not chasing 73, so there's a different perspective of, how we want to finish the year. It's not we want to, lock up home court advantage throughout the playoffs, and that's something that's still a goal. But having gone through the experiences last year and the position that we're in right now, we think we're a lot smarter as to how we manage the last 16 games, and speaking from coaches kind of perspective on down how we as players, get ourselves and our minds and our bodies ready for a gauntlet 2.5 month championship run.
I mean, you mentioned locking up that #1 seed. You're in a tight position right now with the Spurs, and it's a big difference. I mean, you get #1, we don't know how all the teams in the conference are going to shake out, but you look like you would have an easier road if you get #2. It's possible the #2 seed could face Russell Westbrook and the Thunder and then the Rockets before you even get to the conference finals. Does it feel like a big deal to you to get that #1 versus #2? Is it worth being on the court a few extra minutes for in certain games?
I mean, we'll see how it plays out. We understand we have a opportunity to get back on track just starting this week. 3 home games, and if we can control our own destiny in that sense, we'll see where that puts us. I don't think we're looking at it in terms of who we're going to play. It's more, you'd love to have, any kind of deciding Game 7 at home versus being on the road. And for us right now, with 16 games left in the season, if we're going to lock up home seat or home court advantage, we need to play better and get better as a team. Finishing out the stretch.
You probably won't have Kevin for most of that time. What's the biggest difference without KD on the floor?
I haven't played 60 some odd games with him. You start to develop a rotation and understanding where guys are going to get their minutes and whatnot. And when he's out, that changes a good amount, with the combination of guys that coach can throw out there. So our identity as a team and how we play doesn't change. And that's something that we can rely on as you play, however many games until he gets back. But, we still have a lot of talent. We still have, a lot of experience and just need to play better.
You still have the guy that the record books say is the greatest three-pointer and shooter in NBA history. That would be you, by the way. But your three-point marksmanship, a little uneven lately, right? 1-8 in that last game against Minnesota, 16 for 76 on your last group of threes. What's going on with you?
That sounds so bad. I'm gonna keep shooting the same way I have, my whole career, and the routines that I rely on to kind of, fine-tune my shot throughout the course of the regular season is something I'm sticking with, and there's no panic in any sense of that. I'm not losing any confidence, so I know it'll turn around, and you shoot your way out of it. That's kind of my philosophy.
Wasn't it last year that you were 0 for 10, and when you hit that 11th three-point attempt, you started shimmying down the floor? Steve Kerr said you're the only guy in the NBA who would do that.
I got short-term memory loss and some kind of amnesia when it comes to missing shots.
It seems to be working for you. You're also someone who draws huge crowds just for the drills you do in warm-ups. I mean, I got to tell you, I have never seen anything like it in the last couple decades. But not everyone is lucky enough to get to an arena where you're playing. So I was actually super interested to learn that you're turning this degree sponsorship you have with the nifty shirt, right? Very cute, into an opportunity for all the fans at home. Can you explain that 360-degree content that you guys have going on and what it lets fans do?
Well, yeah, with degree, they provide the protection I need to for me to perform at my best on the floor, and a part of that, like you talked about, there's a 360-degree experience where there's a kind of never before seen perspective on the moves that I try on the court, and for fans to be able to get up close and personal with me. So youtube.com/degreemen, you can check that video out. I do make a shot in one of those videos. That's nice. But you can just get a never before seen perspective on the creativity that I try to have on the floor.
That's so nice. The sponsor didn't put your miss in the YouTube video.
We gotta keep it real.
That's right. That's how you know your agent's doing good work. Steph, thank you so much for joining us on The Jump. We appreciate it as always.
Thanks, Rachel.